And howdy do. So, we returned from our weekend trip late, and I was able to have a little bit of fun over the weekend. It was great to see all Seamus's Pellicast team. My wife was able to do some shopping, and I was able to go to Square One Brewery and have some fun there. And I went to some other place to pick up some beer, and I found some good beer. I also found some, well, different beer, let's just say. And there's a reason why I got these. I got two I want to show you here. I got a Stag beer and a Lone Star. And there's a reason why I picked these up. These are all kind of lumped together these days as the macro lager. So, lost where I was going. They're all kind of lumped together these days as a macro lager. But what these were known as, they're basically regional, American beers. They were popular in just specific areas of the country. Stag, the Illinois area, some parts of eastern Missouri, and then Lone Star, obviously, Texas. So let me show you each glass here. And they both pour very pale. Might be slightly more color out of the Lone Star, but I don't know if there's enough to really make a difference. The Stag I find interesting. There isn't a whole lot of flavor. It is what, everybody used to just refer to as beer. I do notice, for me anyway, that does feel a little crisper than even some of the more popular macros. The larger brands, let's just say, the non-regional macro lagers, as it were. The Lone Star, is 4.65%. I don't know the ABV on the Stag. They don't list it. They also don't list ingredients on the Stag. Although the Lone Star specifically does say, amongst other things they do use some corn extract in here. So I know what I'm getting here, right? I know I'm getting an adjunct lager from both of these beers. But, that's kind of what I was looking for. I just wanted to kind of compare these two. I will say, though, drinking them both side by side, I had one of each last night, and I thought I was noticing some subtle differences. So I really wanted to kind of do a side-by-side with them. Oh, excuse me. Both are very light hops. They are what American beers, used to be way back when, or before the craft craze. Anyway, most beers kind of taste like this. They're kind of watery, not a whole lot of flavor. They're just meant to be cold, crisp, and refreshing. Well, cold and refreshing, because the crispness kind of leaves when you start adding all those adjuncts. I will say that the Lone Star, however, does carry a tad more flavor than the Stag. Corn is very apparent in both of them. They both have a little bit of sweetness that you're going to get when you start chucking corn in a beer. Both have a certain amount of crispness, though. I will say both are likable, to me anyway, for what they are. Now, I'm not going to try to convince you folks that you ought to buy it. It's a wonderful craft beer, because you're not. But I am going to say, for me anyway, there is a time and a place for a beer like this. And that time would be, 100 frickin' degrees. You just want something cold to drink fast. I was outside working in the yard. I just come in and get something cold, drink it in about 5 minutes or less. Something you want quick. That I don't want to. I don't want to waste my $10 6-pack craft beer. I just want something that's going to hit the spot at that moment. As far as being economical, the Stag ran $9 a 12-pack, while the Lone Star runs $7 a 6-pack. So here's the truth for me anyway. I would, I think really this ought to be $5 a 6-pack top end. I probably won't ever buy it again, but I really want to try it once. And for what it is, it certainly fits the bill for that type of beer. The Stag, one of these beers really isn't worse than the other. They're both along the same lines, although the Lone Star may be a tad crisper. There you go. But from an economical standpoint, we're looking at $9 for 12 as opposed to $7 for 6. So there you go. There's my regional, beer or whatever. I'm having trouble today. It's on the beer. We'll get out of here.